Hi sweet friends, welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're new. I'm really glad that you're here. I have a few new faces on this channel in the last month or so, and I thought it'd be a really good opportunity to help you guys get to know me a little bit better of who I am as a creator. I don't really have a big platform at the moment, and I think it'd be a bit delusional of me to do a Q&A where you guys ask questions and then I answer them for you. I still wanted to do something where you could learn a little bit about who I am and where I come from, just a bit more about me, I guess. So I put together 20 questions, and when I say I put together 20 questions, ChatGPT put together 20 questions to get to know me a little bit better. So I thought I would take you through my afternoon and answer some questions. So just for context, it is a Sunday afternoon. I work a 9 to 5, so the weekends is kind of the main time that I film, and I actually love nothing better than filming and editing a video on a Sunday afternoon, because this space is just such a creative space for me, and I really love getting to share little bits of myself with you guys. Without further ado, let's get into the video. And if you like this kind of content, feel free to like and subscribe and give me a little comment down below, because I really love interacting with you guys. Like, you guys are such a great community. Yeah, it helps me to know what kind of videos you like so I can make more of them in the future. So whether you've been watching for a while or you've just stumbled across my channel, get comfy, get a little beverage, and let's get into the questions. And I'm nothing if not a list girl, so I have all of the questions on my phone. The first question is, what's your full name and is there a story behind it? My full name is kristycknight. I guess there's a little bit of a story behind it. So my middle name's Cherie, and obviously this channel is Kristy Cherie. Cherie is my mother's middle name as well, and there's a few other female members in my family who share the same middle name. I very, very often get people say Kristy Cherry. It's not Kristy Cherry, it's Kristy Cherie. So this is probably actually a really good question to start on. My niece and my cousin also have that same last name, and if I decide to have children one day, I think if I have a girl, I will probably give her that that middle name as well. The name Kristy is actually quite an interesting one, because my nana's name is Christine, but I wasn't actually always going to be called Kristy. I was actually going to be called Annalise, and I don't actually think that name suits me at all. I actually really think Kristy does suit me. Annalise was a combination of my mum and my second cousin's name, so my mum's cousin. My mum's name is Leanne and my mum's cousin's name is Lisa, so that's where they got Annalise from. Leanne, Alisa, Annalise. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what they've told me. Even though that is very sweet, I definitely resonate with Kristy more, but maybe that's just because I've spent 29 years of my life with that name. I don't know. But yeah, that's where my name came from. I also, interesting fun fact, took my mum's last name rather than my dad's, and I actually don't know why that is. I think that was just a decision. My parents divorced quite early on in my life, so I think my mum just felt, because she was the primary caregiver, that she would be the one to give us her last name. I think it makes sense. Like, I do like my name, so... Question number 2 is, where am I from and where do I live now? So I was born in Rockhampton, which is a country town in northern Queensland, and I only lived there for a couple of months. I've moved around a lot. As a kid, I have been to over 15 schools, so very, very good at starting afresh in new places. I currently live on the Gold Coast in Queensland, and even in my adult life, I've lived in many places, but I do actually really value living by a body of water. The beach is just a safe space, and I feel like no matter what is going on in your life, if you can get outside and see the ocean and just sit and observe the water, that just instantly makes me feel better. So I'm really glad and thankful to be living here. I know that I won't be living here forever, but for the time that I do live here, I am very appreciative. The third question is, when is your birthday and what is your zodiac sign? These are all double questions, so you guys are getting like 40 questions rather than 20 questions. My birthday is the 10th of November. Another little fun fact, so my fiance, Zach, his birthday is actually the 12th of November and our anniversary is on the 8th. So we celebrate our anniversary on the 8th, my birthday's on the 10th and his is on the 12th. So every November is just like a big celebration of our love and our birthdays, which is really, really sweet. I'm actually a Scorpio. There are parts of being a Scorpio that I don't really resonate with, and then there's other parts that I like really, really resonate with. I think just being a little bit more mysterious and holding your thoughts and feelings quite close to your chest is something that I am ironically very good at. and sometimes maybe to my detriment. I do find it takes a long time for me to open up to others, and I don't tend to rely on others very much. I would say probably hyper independent, and maybe that's a Scorpio trait, but I do feel quite deeply. And I feel like that's a Scorpio trait as well. Like I'm definitely big feelings kind of gal. Okay, number 4 is 3 words that your best friends would describe you as. Maybe we can get a paid actor for this one. My best friends aren't available right now to ask the question, but one of my best friends, Zach, might actually be able to give us some answers. Hey babe, can you come here? I need you to answer one of these questions for me. 3 words that describe me. 3 words that best describe me as one of my best friends.
Funny. You're really funny. Intelligent. And beautiful. You're welcome.
No pressure. Thank you. Well, that was thoughtful, wasn't it? I feel like I do try to be quite lighthearted and bubbly. And while I wouldn't call myself intelligent, I would say that I like to know things. And not in a creepy way, more in like I'm a bit of a sponge for information. Like I like knowing exactly how things work and all of the information about a specific thing when I'm going into like a task or a new experience. Like I'm definitely the person to look up a menu before I go to a restaurant, and I'm definitely the person to find out exactly what's going on at an event before I go to said event. So yeah, I don't know if that's being intelligent or if that's just being hyper aware. Hyper vigilant maybe. Anyway. Okay, question number 5 is, what is your go-to coffee or beverage? I do love me a good coffee. I probably drink way too much, and by probably I mean I definitely do. I have 2 coffee orders, so when it's warm outside, I definitely get an iced almond latte, and it always has to have 2 shots because otherwise it just tastes wrong. And what are you doing if you're not getting 2 shots of coffee? Probably just not having a caffeine addiction, but anyway, that's a story for another time. I will also get, if it's really cold out, I'll get an almond cappuccino, and definitely a cappuccino rather than a latte because a cappuccino has the chocolate on top, and everybody knows that that is the best type of warm beverage. I also really like another beverage, and I thought I'd share with you guys how I make it because I make it from home. If you're interested, feel free to come along. So glad you guys could join me. I'll give you a hint what the beverage is. I'm wearing it. I thought we'd make a matcha together because I got a new matcha kit in the mail the other day. It's just from Amazon. I'll link it below if you guys want to have a look at what it is because it's actually like the cutest thing I've ever seen. Full disclaimer though, this is not how I usually make my matcha, but I thought we'd try the new set today together because it's fun to try new things. Usually what I would do is, and this is a bit of a hack for you, I would usually just get like a really small container and then mix my matcha with some hot water in the container and then just give it a really good shake and then just serve that over some oat milk or almond milk with ice. But we're gonna do it the right way this time. So let's have a go, and hopefully it's not too hard. I'm a bit scared. Now I don't have a favorite matcha powder, but I've just been using this one here. And I'm really open to suggestions. So if you guys have a better option, let me know. I do like this because it comes in little sachets, but I just want a good quality matcha. That's all I'm after. Other things you need for this recipe, apparently you really need one of these, a sieve and a bowl. And the sieve is so that it doesn't get clumpy, and the bowl is to whisk it, I think, maybe. I also have a matcha whisk that I've never used before. All of this comes in the kit, isn't that cool? You can make matcha from home, and it's definitely like way more leveled up than the way I usually make matcha. I like it with honey. If you don't like it sweet, you don't have to use honey. And then you just need a really cute mug and some milk of some variety. I'm trying oat. I usually get almond, but I like either, to be honest. I need to boil the kettle. Okay, so next question is, what is my current obsession? I'm obsessed with a lot of things, actually. I also just did a wish list video, so if you want to watch that and look at all of my obsessions or the things that I've been wishing for, then you can go watch that. But, oh my god, it actually matches the color of my sweater. That's so cool. I think at the moment I'm actually obsessed with, and Zach's gonna laugh at this, but I'm obsessed with finding different films or movies that tell a story in a different way. We've been watching a few different ones recently. We watched Lost in Translation, which has Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson in it, and it's basically about two people who kind of form an unlikely friendship on a trip to Japan. It was just a really good movie. So I'm really into movies that, tell stories in different ways. We also recently watched Last Night in Soho, which has Anya Taylor-Joy in it. And it's basically a story about a girl who's a fashion student in London, and she stays in this accommodation that she rents. She starts having flashbacks about this girl in the 1960s who basically just wanted to be a star and got murdered in that rental. I don't know, just how they tell the story was super interesting, and I really want to watch more films like that. So if you guys have any suggestions, I really like anything by Greta Gerwig. I have recently started watching a little bit more by Sofia Coppola. Yeah, anything like that I love. That's something I've been obsessed with. I think that's the best we're gonna get. See, look at this. Look at those clumps. Get out of here. So full disclosure, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm watching a TikTok video on how to whisk matcha because, I like to learn new things. The next question is, do I consider myself more of an introvert or an extrovert? And I definitely consider myself equal parts of both, I think, because I definitely recharge from being by myself, but then I also feel like if I spend too much time by myself, it's not good. I get cabin fever, and I need to be grounded by another human being, if that makes sense. So I actually think this is doing a good job. So you make it into a paste first, I think. And then in 1 minute, wow, bouncy texture. That's the end result, not what it's meant to do right now. Okay, I'm doing that. Good. I don't know what the dabbing does, but apparently we're meant to dab. Okay, then you add more water and then you do the whiskey sideways thing. And that makes it fluffy. Okay, let's get on to the next question. What's something you can't leave the house without? I would say my water bottle. I actually get anxious when I don't have a water bottle. If I go to bed and there's not enough water in my water bottle, I'll make Zach fill it up because otherwise I can't sleep. I reckon that's good. Oh, this is a good one. What inspired you to start your YouTube channel? I think I have actually a lot to say about this, probably too much to say, but I've always seen myself way back in the day when the early YouTubers were on Bethany Moda and all of those kinds of people. I always kind of saw myself, God, I can't multitask, saw myself kind of doing a similar thing, just sharing my life. As much as I've tried other professions and I'm currently in a different profession, I just don't feel that spark of joy that I get when I do YouTube. So I think that's what inspires me is how excited I get when I get a new idea to make a video or just a new way of shooting something or just a new concept. I get really excited, and I think it's super important to follow what actually gives you that sense of joy, because although your job is not everything, I do think you do only live once, and it's worth finding the thing that lights you up inside, because it's just not worth it to have a life where you're feeling so not happy all the time. This is actually doing such a good job. I'm shocked. It takes a bloody arm workout though. Look at how fluffy that is. Wow. I'm shocked. I don't know what to do with this now. Maybe we'll just... Okay. Little bit of honey. Give it a quick extra stir. That's amazing. That actually has made such a difference. My little container trick is just amateur compared to this. And it's actually pretty easy, to be honest. We are up to question, who are your biggest inspirations, creators, celebrities? I feel like when you're doing something like YouTube or TikTok or any kind of content creation, it's really easy to just compare yourself to every single person out there and then tell yourself you're not good enough for anything and that you shouldn't be doing this, and why would anyone watch you because you're exactly like everybody else and you're a failure. So that's super easy to do. But at the same time, it's so nice that there's so many different creators out there and they're all so uniquely different. And I try to take inspiration from people, but not to the point where I feel like I'm doing the exact same thing as them. I really do just want to try to be myself, but then also I don't know, when you're inspired by something, use it and, you know, tweak it and try to make it your own. But at the moment, I'm really inspired by people who can multitask. I'm really inspired by Eleanor T at the moment. She is a small content creator based in South Australia, I believe, and she's Italian heritage, but her content is just amazing, and she's into ceramics, which I think is really cool to have like that niche. But yeah, I think I'm just inspired by people who are quite authentic and like share the most raw parts of themselves. It's quite good. It really is. Who's out there paying $10 for a matcha when you can just make it from home? Amazing. All right, let's grab this bad boy, and I think we're gonna go do one of my other favorite hobbies, which I always forget about. It's like out of sight, out of mind, but then when I do it, I really enjoy it. So if you wanna come along, we can do it together. So I've really been getting back into scrapbooking recently, and it just brings me so much joy. And I think it's such a great way to do something mindful that doesn't cost a lot of money either. I really truly believe that if you manifest something on like a vision board or you journal about something, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna come true. I don't know the science behind it, but I feel like that's just my experience, and that's why I love to do it. And it just like feels good to put all of your thoughts and feelings and vision in a book. Okay, where are we up to? What is your dream travel destination? I have a few. A bit of a backstory here. Zach and I booked a wedding venue because we planned on getting married in September next year. August next year, actually. And then after some consideration, why do I sound like I'm in an interview for a job? After some thought, we both came to the conclusion that a wedding was maybe not what we wanted for ourselves. And not that we didn't want to get married, because we do want to get married, but I think I had this idea of what a wedding would be in my head. And I just don't think that it would actually end up being what I thought it would be. Oop. Oop. Oh no. Oh no. No. So we're going to elope in Europe, and we're going to go on a 6-week holiday there. So Europe is definitely my top travel destination. We've never been to Europe separately or together, and I've always pictured us honeymooning in Greece. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Greece, but we're also going to go to Italy and Paris and Copenhagen and Switzerland. We're going to spend basically what we were going to spend on the wedding, maybe a little bit less. And we're going to spend it on our dream holiday, which just feels so much more us. We have such a good time when we travel together. I always feel like, and I say it every time we go traveling, that it just brings out the best in both of us. And I couldn't think of a better travel buddy, to be honest. So that's the plan. What is your favorite way to spend a day off? That's actually a really good question as well, because I love a day off. I really do. I think the best way to spend a day off, and this is kind of like my ideal day anyway, is getting up early, watching the sunrise and getting a coffee, and then heading to the gym and doing a workout, then doing something creative, I think, in the morning when I'm feeling like my most creative, energized self. And whether that's making a YouTube video or thinking about ideas or making some short form stuff, doesn't really matter what it is. And then cleaning up a little bit at home and doing something crafty or reading in the afternoon. I really like that. And then making myself a delicious dinner that's, somewhat nutritious. And then spending a night in and watching a movie on the couch is probably my ideal day. Do you believe in astrology or personality types? I absolutely do. I'm a sucker for a personality quiz. I actually love getting to know myself and others through personality quizzes. Things like the Myers-Briggs personality quiz, human design, astrology, horoscopes, anything and everything that I can do to learn more about people, I love to do. So yes, definitely. And if you're curious, I am a campaigner. I think it's INFJ in the Myers-Briggs, and I'd love to know what you guys are, because I feel like I always know when someone's a campaigner because they literally are like me, my energy, which I love. Oh, this is so fun. What is your go-to outfit or fashion vibe? Well, I'm really trying to find what my fashion vibe is at the moment. I did make a bit of a mood board on my Pinterest, and that's kind of like what this is really, if you think about it. And I'm still struggling to figure it out. But I think I really like lots of different textures. I love classic, white blouse with jeans. I just love different pieces, I love knits. I love winter fashion. I'm probably more of a winter fashion person than I am a summer fashion person. And recently I've been loving to try new and fun colors. Like this jumper, for example, I got this recently. It was actually on my wish list from Princess Polly. I've been eyeing it off for so long and I was like, no, that color is just not, it's not gonna suit me, whatever I was telling myself. And I was like, I'll just get it and see if I like it. And I absolutely love it. I actually really love the color. I think it does suit me. And I think I was just being a bit mean to myself. So there's that. If you could only use 3 beauty products for the rest of your life, what would they be? Sunscreen, and specifically the ultraviolet sunscreen because it's the best one ever. It makes your skin so glowy. I use it pretty much every day. I would also use eyebrows because I feel like my face is just not complete without eyebrows. And I think for the last one, it would have to be either blush or a lip stain. Probably a lip stain. I feel like I use a lip stain pretty much every day. My cheeks are naturally blushy, so I probably don't need that so much, but lip stains are like my holy grail. I use them so much. And I think it's just because I've got quite pale lips, so I like to have them just a little bit more defined. That was so fun. I love it. This is the finished product. I absolutely love it. It's so cute. I feel like this is definitely my current mood board, and if you guys are interested with what's on my wish list, you should definitely check that video out. I'm pretty sure it'll be live before this one is, if all goes to plan. This is what I'm reading at the moment, in case you're curious. I've been in a bit of a reading slump lately, to be honest, but this is my book club book of the month. We're trying to read more classics, and we do take turns in terms of picking the book, and this was my pick. So far, I am enjoying it, and I do appreciate the fact that it's 200 pages long because that's slightly more achievable in my reading slump brain that I have at the moment. Question number 16. We're really flying through these. We're not. We've actually been recording for a really long time. What is a fun fact that most people don't know about you? When I was little, I used to live in Taiwan, and I actually went to a school where they taught Taiwanese kids to speak English. It was really cool. It was really fun. I was really good at it because English is my first language. Are you more of a morning or a night person? I would say I'm a bit more of a morning person because I do like to get up early, and at nighttime I get really sleepy and I'm not productive at nighttime. Whereas if I get up early, I can be productive in the morning. What is your biggest goal this year? I think my biggest goal is to become monetized on YouTube. I just don't know what this year is going to bring. I feel like this year is almost halfway over, and it would be an absolute dream to become monetized on YouTube and start working towards that side of my life. But at the moment, it is very much like I'm working a 9 to 5, and then I'm also trying to treat this like a full-time job as well. So energy-wise, it's a lot, but I'm putting in the work now so that I can do what my dream self would want to do, which is to be full-time on YouTube. That's the goal. We don't dream small around here. What's something you're currently working on or learning? What is something I'm currently working on or learning? I'm working on and learning, and I feel like I will always be doing this, but I'm working on and learning how to edit better and how to frame shots better. And I hope you guys notice this. I mean, this video is not a good indication because I'm getting a lot of help with this, but in my normal vlogs, I'm really trying to be a bit more creative with my shots and a little bit more creative with my editing and just being more creative in general, which is not something that comes naturally to me. Like, it does in short bursts. Sometimes I'll get an idea or a vision that feels really creatively inspiring to me, but it's the execution of that creativity that I find really hard. So I'm working on getting better at executing, but also just being kinder to myself when it takes me a little bit longer to learn how to do things, because it's not something that I've had to do up until now, and you've got to try before you are good at something. Your practice does truly make perfect, and that's what I'm telling myself. Okay, we've made it to the last question, which is what do you see yourself? What do you see yourself? Wow. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? That's a big one. In 5 years' time, hopefully I am doing content creation full time. I would absolutely love that. I would love that Zach and I are married. We've had an amazing trip to Europe and we are settled somewhere, maybe in a house of our own. Probably still by the beach. We're definitely both water people and I feel like we'll always want to live somewhere near the ocean. And who knows, to be honest, I actually have no idea what the future is going to bring, but that's the exciting part of it, is that we don't know, and we've just got to keep working towards the things that we want to achieve, and hopefully we'll get there. So that is a little sneak peek into who I am, and I guess a little bit more about me. I hope you guys learned something that was interesting. I'd like to get to know you guys a little bit better as well. So if any of these questions were inspiring for you guys or interesting, let me know your answers to those questions below. If you liked this type of video, please let me know by liking the video and subscribing if you can, just because it lets me know that you like this type of content and I can make more of it. And it lets me know that you enjoy this channel, because I really hope you guys do. If you have any recommendations for videos as well, I'm all ears. I love hearing what you guys want me to make. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.